Hi and welcome to Outside the Box. Today it's the 30th of November and this is our 14th episode. And today we're going to discuss the new ETC draft. We're going to have a lot of episodes discussing things around the ETC during the future, but we will try to stick in a couple of episodes with other things around also. But today we're going to go through the draft and just let you know what we feel about it and if there's something that is really good or really bad. Maybe we should start. We could say that Lage could begin.
Yeah.
Can I just intersect with one thing here?
Yeah,
the draft would be linked below, so
Yeah.
I think it would be easy if people would just view the draft as we go through it, because we'll go through it like from top to bottom.
Yeah. And it's the first version. It's the draft 0 or 1.0.
Yeah. So it's 1.0, so we couldn't expect too much either.
No.
It gives a general idea, but my experience is that actually the first restrictions are not changed that much until the final draft. Some stuff will go out and some will come in, but it gives a general idea of the draft, and in my opinion, the draft is a bit lighter than previous years, at least for most armies. For example, Dark Elves are a lot harder restricted, but in general I think they have made it slightly lighter, at least for most armies. So, for example, they have the for a general restriction, they still have the Lookout Sir against fine transportation dwellers and such. I think it's good to have it in there still. And I think they haven't removed the 25%, right? They said that, getting 50%, half the points for a 25% unit. It will be in there.
Yeah,
in the future, but they missed it in the first draft.
Exactly.
Yeah. They still have the simple line of sight, which is great. When you're used to playing with simple line of sight, you can't really start to play with true line of sight. It's so strange, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To play with it. And
I don't think it doesn't work that good for fantasy as of now.
With modeling and stuff like that, it's just it doesn't work.
No.
Who knows though? If we're getting a lot of monsters and lone characters and stuff like this, with more characters being allowed and restrictions changing, maybe go back to True Line of Sight, so that you can't really hide for those cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But then the cannons will be really good, and it's not like great cannons or warplane cannons are bad in the current meta either. So.
No, that's true. And a lot of the good armies that will have monsters also have cannons.
Yeah.
And the terrain is as before, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like all the general rules are as they were last year.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. 5 dice casting, maximum 2 dice added, all of this stuff is great from previous years, and I think it's good that they haven't changed it. An addition here is that they added Lore of Undeath with a 4 dice cap, with no ethereal units can be raised, and you can raise a lot of diverters, which will add up to some points for the enemy list. But under these restrictions, I can't see any problems with bringing or allowing people to bring Lore on Death either.
No.
Will require a lot of playtesting.
I also think that the rules for hardcover and how you determine if you're in hardcover I think that was missing last year, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody kind of knew what the rules were, but I think they've added this time just to say if you're in the ruin or if you're in terrain.
I think it was there.
They had a different document as well.
Yeah.
A lot of for line of sight and stuff.
Yeah, last year they had a separate terrain document.
Okay.
So everything was in there.
I remember there had been some arguments about the majority of the unit, and if it's only one model, if it's half, and So I think it looks good.
I think it's a good idea to release all the rules in one package
Yeah.
You don't need to be in one page, but you can like link to a Dropbox link or something, and you can download one document. For example, as we do with tournaments in Sweden, you have everything guarded at one place, and it's easy to find all rules, FAQs, and stuff like that. So what about scenarios? What do you think, guys? Should we have it at all, or shall we just skip it? Play it like we battle line, like we always do? What's your opinion?
I think that, I mean, the scenarios in Sweden is generally just a small bonus. We give like 150, 300 VPs. No, it's not that big. So I like it that they've done it like this at ETC also. The thing I really don't like is the random thing. Just remove the random thing.
Yeah. And how should you add it? Should it be like each table should have their own scenario each turn, or shall we play like different scenarios during different games during the tournament?
To be honest, I mean, if you do this just really simple, you would say that okay, you have 6 games during DTC, then you have 6 scenarios, and everybody on that day plays that scenario. So you have 8 tables with the same scenario.
Yeah, and that would make it like 5 scenarios, because you would
have... Oh, exactly.
But yeah, I
then
agree
you
with
play
that.
like Battle Line this last game? When
first and last would be really good, and then you have 4 in between.
Yeah. Then the last scenario, it will be like semifinals, you know? You're playing for example, we this year played Poland or something, the 4th or 5th game.
No, Norway was this game.
Yeah, Norway, and then we play like the final versus Italy. So then the scenarios will take, I mean, it will almost be like you have to take into account that during this scenario we will play a high country.
Yeah, they will be like gradually increasing in importance.
Yeah.
What about like half of the time one country chooses which scenario they want to play, and half of the games the other country chooses? I mean, for example, when we put up the army that it's put up, choose also scenario when you put it up, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the thing I like is that if you do the same scenario for everyone, a country, I mean, if it's King of the Hill or something, and I mean, a lot of countries bring dwarves and bring chaos dwarves, and those are armies that's going to lose in this almost immediately. Then you could, I mean, Sweden could be like, okay, we're going to skip those. Every army needs to be mobile and be able to take the scenarios. I mean, it gives kind of, it punishes a lot of the builds that we've been seeing the last 2 ETCs, where they have like put up armies that's just put in one corner and pray.
I actually disagree with that a bit. I think that if we do it our way, so to say, it would make it easier to take those kind of lists, because as they have suggested, that dwarf army could potentially play King of the Hill all games, since every opponent will probably want to go King of the Hill versus a dwarf army.
Yeah, but that's why all tables play the same scenarios better, because then the
but then you only have, you know, that dwarf army will only have one King of the Hill game over the entire ETC, and you can, those 300 VPs you can just
but it's almost a certain loss.
You start on an 8-12 instead of a 10-10.
But
now,
and if you also have chaos dwarfs or another immobile army that's just supposed to shoot, then you could be like down with 2 armies.
And those 2 armies could potentially play that scenario every game, making it really hard to choose those armies.
Yes, but then it's down to the random thing again. I mean, then you just go on. Some country won, and it was a lot of luck. I never played that scenario.
Well, I mean, when you go to DTC as they have it right now, I would definitely be concerned as a dwarf player that I could potentially be playing.
With this setup. But I don't like the random thing. I want it to be a tactical thing in some way.
Sure, but I guess in the end, what matters is how hard you want to punish, or rather how hard you want the scenarios to punish different builds. Because if you play only one of each, I think you can just...
Are the scenarios there to punish, or just to bring dynamic to the games?
I think
I think they're both, I guess.
For me,
Because
it's like 80-20 to dynamics. I mean, it brings another flavor to the game, but it's supposed to punish that you cannot just pick gun lines. You have to. I mean, you could bring one. If you bring two, then it starts to be okay. Will this really work? But I mean, it's almost only the gun lines who are really punished at this. To be honest, if you look at the scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we can leave it with that. I mean, I think all three of
we all
us
kind of agree that it's good to have scenarios.
Yeah.
But only small scenarios, and keep it simple. Yeah, so like keep it simple and remove the randomness.
Yeah.
Of the scenarios. So find a way to add the scenarios, but remove the randomness.
Yeah, and if you want to like discourage gun lines, there should be some way of doing that, even though the scenarios are not random.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the armor building restrictions.
Yeah. So it's
The first thing I have to say here is that I like it that they took a whole new course. But the thing I'm kind of afraid of now, because I've been looking through all the different armies and the restrictions, is that there's a lot of potential to put all eggs in one basket for a lot of armies. And it's going to feel like you have one hard-hitting unit and then some diverters, and that's your army, more or less.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that I'm afraid of overall, but I really like the new...
I mean, you can easily remove that. For example, remove the lookouts versus dwellers, and then you have a perfect counter to that.
Yeah, but then, I mean, then it's just down to dice. I mean, you could pick it, and hopefully you don't play live. And as a live player, hopefully you could match them up. Then you need like 2 or 3 live to be able to be sure. I mean, I think it's still better to if you just say, okay, there's no lookout for dwellers. I think I would still bring 8 kind of death pushes armies if I could.
Yeah,
maybe.
It does give a lot more merit to dwellers. So
yeah. I talked to oh God, I forgot his name. Doesn't matter. I put up a suggestion just out of the blue, and I said maybe you could do, if you really want to punish that kind of armies, you could say like, okay, for these armies, maybe 10 armies, only 2 characters per unit.
So there's like a restriction that you can't join in more than 2 characters.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, you maybe want your general and your BSB in the same unit, or a magician and your BSB. But I mean, it's not. I don't think it's crazy, because there's so many armies. You see like 4 or 5 characters in one unit.
Yeah, but it would make it like in some situations it would really remove a tactical element from the game. Like, if I could only get a 3rd character in here, I could do this and that, and then it's like, but because of this rule, I can't, and I think it would make the game very counterintuitive.
I haven't thought it through,
it's the fan,
but this was just an idea.
Yeah.
It was a bad one.
Yeah, maybe.
I get where you're coming from, but those kind of rules, I just think we should keep to a minimum. Like,
yeah. Like, yeah, definitely. Take them where they're needed, but not otherwise.
Yeah.
I think we should keep going here.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at the general army building restrictions, there's one I want to point out. For me, maybe you have some other restrictions you want to talk about, but the Law of Death and the Standard of Discipline are mutually exclusive in an army list. I like that.
Yeah, they're 2 good things. They removed the death cap for each armies, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is a good way to restrict Law of Death. A lot of armies that brings Law of Death would like to take the Standard of Discipline as well.
Yeah.
this doesn't really restrict elves, I guess,
Oh,
or level 4s as generals. It's restricting level 4s as generals, but not always.
so
That's fine.
Yeah.
the Beastmen. Okay.
I mean, we didn't see a lot of Beastmen last year. The marks won't do any
I don't
change
know.
that. I think the thing here might be the Black Kings, but with the amount of thunderstorms and stuff that we can see during for a lot of other lists, the White Kings won't be that good either, I guess.
No.
No. If you were monsters infantry, they would be a lot more
Yeah,
fun.
then it would be awesome, but
Being infantry,
I
I
haven't
just...
actually played them, so I don't know. They might be bringing something to the table. There's still weapons 5 with toughness 5 with Mark on
Yeah.
It's really hard to do wounds
Yeah.
doing close
The,
combat.
the only thing, to be honest, I think the one big thing with the army that you have I think you have to address is that I don't like. I mean, they're introducing some new rules that doesn't exist, and I've always hated that. But if you look at the possibilities, I think if there will be beastmen, there will be a lot of Slaanesh beastmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slaanesh
I
is
think
nice.
Mark on Nurgle could be really nice as well.
Yeah, but it's 2 points per model, and you have a lot of models. So if you have a unit of 40, then it's going to cost 80 points more. And
Yeah, but I guess...
Yeah, but it brings toughness to an army that doesn't have toughness.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or they have toughness but no armor.
Yeah. I think that just to be able to get rid of the all panic, flee everywhere is really nice with that arm.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
the
now
monsters
they
are going to make
are,
them...
of course, restricted with Son of Discipline and Law of Death. And this
Yeah.
is one of our armies that are punished with it, or by it.
Yeah.
But maybe they shouldn't even be restricted by that at all, in my opinion. But otherwise, they're Leadership 10 with reroll, like any other good stable list. So.
Yeah, but it's those diverters standing alone that are the main problem.
That's the problem. And then for those units, of course, the Marco
Slaanesh is going to be
great.
Yeah, the marks make the army better, that's no doubt about it. But
Okay.
I guess Beastman is kind of like an uninteresting army.
I mean, you won a tournament with them, so shut the fuck up.
You took second place, right?
Yeah, second place.
I was in second place.
Sounds like a win.
Oh, you're a sucker. Oh, you're so bad.
Alright,
Okay,
Bretonia.
Bretonia just
Have the same
did it.
restrictions, which is no restrictions. I think they will be better this year than last year, because this year Dark Elves won't be as fucked up as they were last year, so... And Bretonia gets really punished by Dark Elves, so...
And now you could really, really put all eggs in 2 baskets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Chaos Wolves, I think they have loosened up the shooting a bit here.
Yeah.
They could take some really nasty shooting lists.
Not sure. I can't really remember. I just feel like they already had pretty shooty lists from last year.
I don't think you could take double hell cannon with 3 Death Reekers. Right?
No, I don't think so.
No, maybe not.
No.
So that's, I mean, obviously a nice build.
Yeah, you cannot take the Lore of Death, but I'm not sure
that's
it's
really hard restricted here. But otherwise, I mean, we brought them last year. I think it's a boring list to play and a boring list to play against, but they're in there and they fit a role in the team aspect of the game, and yeah, therefore I kind of like them because they bring something to the table that's good to have.
I think that, I mean, I don't remember what I played on the Swedish Monsters. I played Cave Sorcerer, but now you can get the Kadai and 3 Death Shriekers, and you couldn't do that, I think. I didn't have 3, I had 2, I think. Maybe I had 2 in a Hell Cannon. No. Fuck it, I don't remember. Just leave it.
You probably had a Hell Cannon that could die and...
Yeah.
And
8 Magma Cannons, 2 Red
we had last
Mortars.
year, we had, at ETC, we had the Hell Cannon, 2 Death Shriekers, right?
Red Quake.
And could die.
No, not Red Quake.
Not Red Quake,
But it could die, but we had the
Oh, I was
Terrain
thinking
as
about
well.
the warm-up when Eric played them. We had like five war machines.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we also had Lord of Death, right? No, we had Hachette. Sorry.
Hachette.
Yeah.
So yeah, and in Case Dwarfs, yeah, I don't know. It's
I think
not
Case
that
Dwarfs
big
are
difference.
not more restricted than last year, but they have changed the pool so that the death is almost impossible to take with the Case Dwarfs.
The biggest thing with them, I feel, is that it would be really nice to see, builds that maybe are around Bale Towers in some way, because the Bale Towers are not in here at all. So you could see a really, really pushy list with, you could have more characters now. So you could have a Vulcan Tower Lord, and we will see what they will come up with, but you could do a really, really push list. Yeah.
I think that we are going to see really hard lists this year.
Yeah.
Really,
if it stays this way, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it could be fine. I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on to Dark Elves.
Yep.
I cannot even start to talk about Dark Elves. The dildo is so far up there. Yeah. So.
They can still make viable lists, I think.
Yeah.
But
they will always
kind of
be able to make a viable list.
Yeah.
They can only take Harpies. Yeah, it's a good list. I fucking hate Dark Elves.
But this will change. Maybe towards the more infantry-based.
Yeah, I think so as well. Or maybe like one big unit of cold ones with 2 Dreadlords or something.
Yeah.
Because that's... Yeah, I guess that's kind of fine with these restrictions as well.
Yeah.
But you can still make viable lists, I guess. And they've restricted last year's cookie cutter list a lot. Now it's like... I think it's 11 points, my list from last year.
Yeah.
You can only take 5, so you need to make some cuts in there to get it.
Yeah. The only thing I would like to change with the Dark Elves is, I would change the sentence to 2 or more repeater bolt throwers, one choice. If you pick one, I don't know.
Yeah, but who picks one?
Who picks one?
Yeah, but why don't you give that possibility? If nobody's gonna only pick one, why make it a choice?
Yeah, but that's always been the discussion. Like, the list isn't there to allow bad lists, or the restrictions aren't there to allow bad lists. We just assume that people are not going to take bad lists.
No, but it doesn't change anything else. Yes, it's not there to make bad lists, but if we change that, we aren't allowing anything special.
Yeah, but the problem is then that like 2 bolt throwers are not that good either. So why would you have the restrictions 2 or more bolt throwers?
Yeah, but 2 bolt throwers. We've seen a lot of armies with 2 bolt throwers.
Yeah, they fill a role, but
yeah.
Come on, we have to move on, guys.
Yeah,
we can't discuss this.
No.
So the demons.
Yeah, I think this is a big mess up, but I think you shouldn't be allowed to bring 10 beasts and 7 plague flies in a list. That's just ridiculous.
I like that they changed. Like 2, 6, and 10.
No, but wait. I want to see. Explain. So 10 beasts and what did you say? 6 flies.
Or 7. 7 is maximum. That's why I said 7.
Okay. So that's all choices. Then you can only have 1 pink unit.
No, 2.
Each unit of pinks after the second. Okay, 1 choice.
And then a big unit of plague bearers.
Yeah, no skull cannon then.
No.
No Lord of Death. Yeah, that's too good. I agree. I just had to.
You just played a Nurgle wall with a bit support magic from the pink horrors, and
don't you? Why won't you sacrifice the flies for the cannon?
Yeah, maybe. You could do that. Doesn't really matter. I think it's better with the push lineup to bring 7 flies than it's to bring 1 cannon.
Yeah.
But sure, the cannon is great as well.
Yeah. I also. It could just stay in there, but you could write first and only skull cannon 1 choice. Nobody's gonna pick 2 with these restrictions.
Yeah, might be.
So
you have like
2 skull cannons are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but what are you gonna take it with? That's the only thing you get from this list. There's
like
no beasts, no plague. Yeah, but that's a crappy list.
Oh, but a lot of lists are like that, as it is.
Yeah, but they all depend on a lot of pink horrors.
Sure.
Yeah, but we can
I'm not
just
saying
leave it.
but I'm just saying that if you want to skull cannons,
Yeah.
you can probably
But
make a viable list.
we can agree that they're being the restrictions are not that harsh at all. I mean, we're going to
No.
see a lot of really nasty demons.
They're really hard on some things. For example, like Lore of Death.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way to bring a good Lore of Death in a demon army is to bring it on a Great Unclean one, and that's 2 choices for a model that don't want to cast Purple Sun.
3 choices.
But I mean, the list you played for,
Oh yeah.
it didn't have Lord Death.
I never played the new Demons Chaos at ETC.
No, not at DTC, but you played, wasn't it down in like Jönköping or something where we played?
Yeah, I played it at BSK.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I brought it.
But did you have Lord Death?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
It was like the cookie catalyst from last year.
Okay.
It's gonna change the demon armies, but I foresee the demons armies still being hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to restrict them more, in my opinion.
You could go a lot of greater demons as well if you would like to.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how good that is, but
no.
Sure, you can do it. I think you should only bring 1 caster.
But didn't you comment the game with 2 Bloodthirsters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Yes, we did get 2 Bloodthirsters.
Played versus a high elf list.
Yeah. So dwarves.
Yeah.
Dwarves gonna be dwarves.
Yeah, not much to say.
Dwarves gonna do dwarfy things.
Yeah.
The army, for me, when we're looking at that stupid unit that we were discussing during the last ETC, when we did our little test, dwarves, they're so fucking boring. Oh my god, just ban them, please, dear god.
They're like Chaos Dwarves, but there's no way that you can push them. They're harder to push and have no magic.
To be honest, they're like Chaos Dwarves, but boring.
Yeah.
Boring error.
Yeah, I mean, at least you get to use your diverters against the Chaos Dwarves.
Yeah. So, Empire.
Yeah, this one is interesting.
Here I think they have just made the same mistake that they made on other places as well. That the overall restrictions are good, but when you take one thing, it's not restricted hard enough. For example, you can bring 7 demis, 4 demis, 4 demis. That's 15 demigryphs, and that's really hard. To that, you can also bring a steam tank, so that's a kind of push list. Otherwise, I mean, for example, for the standard Empire list, I think they hit it quite well, even a bit hard maybe. But they need to look over like the restrictions for these, for example, 15 demigryph builds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, all the extremes, and I guess that it's the extremes we're gonna see this year.
Yeah.
Really big units of nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, or double dragons. Or...
But that's the way of the pool system as well.
True.
Kind of.
Especially, for example, when the pool cuts it for like 4 and 5. There's no one that will bring a 5 demigryphs here, because all the units of 5 demigryphs will instead be 7 this year.
Yeah. And also one thing,
there will be a lot of 4 demigryphs as well.
One thing we have to just mention also is that when you do a big change like this, we also have to take into account that they've changed the percentage of Lord choices, and I mean that mixes everything up. So I haven't seen what armies idiots or geniuses could make. So I mean, it's going to take a couple of months before we kind of are settled in that, okay, this is how it's going to look.
Absolutely. I mean, this is only not even a first draft, really. Just like an
idea.
An idea, exactly. So, I mean, it's probably, as you say, after a couple of months when different builds are taking shape, we should probably see a bit more how these restrictions handle them.
Yeah.
We're starting tomorrow with a weekly ETC grinding day here in Västerås.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be pulling out our brains and...
From your asses.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, high elves.
Making lists. Now, high elves, I think they can make really hard lists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like insanely hard. Like
this
Jesus
is so
Christ.
wrong. Yeah.
Hard lists.
They totally missed the Star Dragons here, in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
they should add like, and also like Bolt Throws, it's really hard restricted. It's one choice in a pool of two.
I mean, you're
Compared
funneling
to
down
the
high
Dark
elves. You're funneling down high elves into two roads. Either dragons or, I mean, you're gonna...
Frost Phoenixes. No.
Yeah.
You actually get both.
Yeah. But it's either that or just infantry. And I mean, it's kind of like a list that Dennis played 2 years ago.
Yeah. So what we're
I'm
talking
guessing-
about here is the like 2 Star Dragons, Karadian,
Three
Frost Phoenix, and a Bannerwall Dragon to that.
Yeah, but that's not a choice because you're gonna have them on foot.
Yeah, but
So you're
Yeah.
right now you only
Yes,
have one choice.
You go 2 Star Dragons, Caradrian, and then 2 Frost Phoenixes. So you have 3 Frost Phoenixes and 2 Star Dragons.
Exactly.
And then you have a Banner of the World Dragon in a unit of White Lions.
But Karadran, is he only hero? He's not a lord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he's a-
fun times.
So, but kind of waiting for the restrictions for high elves special
Yeah.
characters before I want to say too much, because depending on how Techless will comp, I'm guessing 2 choices straight off.
Yeah.
And also Caradrian, how will he comp? Would also like to add the demon comp. How will Kairos comp?
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
those things will make a big impact on how the special characters or how the comp is in general. And I'm also
and what
thinking,
combos people will build as well.
yeah, and I'm also considering, like, if you take Kairos, will he count as a death mage and therefore comp really hard?
We shall see.
We'll
I mean,
see.
we can discuss this forever, but we
Yeah,
shall see.
absolutely. But that
So-
will be really interesting.
So, Lizardman.
Yep.
Yeah. It's gonna... I've been thinking a bit about Lizardmen these last couple of days because I'm playing them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. A bit depends on if the characters count as flying units. I mean, like, the wording, it's pretty obvious, but I'm not sure that's the intent.
But when I looked at this, I felt like, yeah, you could still, I mean, you could build the kind of list that you've been playing.
Yeah.
Then if it's good in this meta or not, it's hard to say, but I feel that...
Well, you can take... But the problem with that is that you generally want 2 Star Mages and maybe one of them Lore Master.
Yeah.
Now you can have the old signature slam, because that one was from the last book.
Yeah.
So things have changed, of course. So, but yeah, last year's like the Polish listener list, you can't get it through here, and I don't think that was like, okay. I mean, he did really well, but I wouldn't say that it's a list that should be banned.
No.
Like, it does have a lot of bad matchups.
Yeah, here I think they can like unrestrict Lizardmen a bit. I think they're kind of restricted here.
Yeah, Lizardmen is
not
always...
It's not like a list that just runs over people. They
No,
always
it's
have to
always-
play for the wins.
Yeah.
Every year we've been seeing a lot of different Lizardmen on lists. It's
Yeah.
not been like a single build for a certain year. I mean, it's always been like three
Yeah.
or 4 maybe even different
That's
builds.
that's what we want.
Yeah. So maybe just try to keep it, because I think last year's Lizardmen restrictions were great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Maybe
lot of
keep it a bit
different
closer to that.
Yeah.
But then again, now you can have 2 Star Mages. So
And you need to restrict like the all-out cowboy bus as well.
sure, because that one will be brutal.
Yeah, like 75% cold one characters in one unit, and then maybe even skip the normal cold ones and just run them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cannons.
But I'm gonna hold off on saying too much about Lizardmen until I have been playtesting them a lot more. But I mean, the restrictions are terrible. Definitely playable.
Yeah,
We
for
shall
sure.
see. Orcs and Goblins.
Yeah, I think this is great. I mean, a bit extra points, and then just build a normal list. It's a good list to have in the meta. So much more fun than dwarves.
Yeah.
I can't really remember. I think Marcus was like, we won't be taking Orcs and Goblins this year. He had some fair points, but I can't remember what they were.
I mean, Marcus is Marcus. And I think that the thing that has changed, I mean, they lost 100 points. But I don't think that's... I mean, the army, as he said...
They didn't lose 100 points. They were 2,500 this year as well.
Were they? Were they?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Sure.
But I mean, for me, when looking at that army, it's still an army that's really, really hard to lose big with it. If you don't want to play the game, you're gonna lose like 8, 12, 7, 13 at worst.
Yeah, but looking at like what other armies, I mean, imagine that list against 2 Star Dragons and 3 It's like GG.
No. Yeah.
You can do nothing.
No.
So I mean, the other restrictions I think have to change if the orcs are going to be viable, depending on, I mean, how hard the lists are. But like the orcs, they're going to stay like the same that they did last year, and all the other lists are.
But you still have the pairing.
Hard as shit. I mean, demons with 10 beasts and 7 plague flies. And
if the restrictions stay this way, yes. But I think that a lot of the really hard stuff will be restricted more. And then the Orcs and Goblins are still there, and as long as the other ones are kept a little bit more down to earth, the Orcs is gonna start being more viable for each change.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So Ogres, this one is just, oh my god, 10 choices and a big fucking list.
I mean, these restrictions are saying like play in list or play double Iron Blasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could like take this down a bit, but I don't know how really. I don't think that Sabotage should be a choice.
No, but I mean, they always pretty much get what they want.
Yeah, they can
do have a lot of
hard
lists,
and these are lighter than before, and I like that because ogres were like comped away compared to other lists. I mean, they're still kind of good in the meta, but no one ever takes them on ETC or on Swedish comp because they're always too restricted. I think unrestrict them a bit and let them show what they can do again, and it might be fun to see them on the boards.
But looking at this, it would be rather simple, as I can read it now. I'm checking again to get the list I played at the BSK like 2 years ago, or was it 3, with two units. Two units of 5 Morfangs, and the Iron Gut, the Gut Star.
And the Iron Gut Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take the Hell Hot because you need the character slots, but otherwise, sure. This is going to be a really long episode, by the way.
Yeah, I
like
realized
5 minutes.
now.
No, it's only 6 minutes over right now.
Oh, okay.
We're almost at the end, so I mean...
We have all the fun armies left, man.
No, fuck it. Let's go through them. So, we feel that... we shall see. I mean, the Ogres are not that good just straight up against armies right now, so we will see.
Oh, definitely.
They have it hard versus elves. That's, I mean,
Skaven.
Maybe.
Yep.
A lot of slaves.
Yeah, a lot of slaves. Take that down a bit, I guess. Have it like last
year. I don't know why they would want to encourage using slaves more.
I mean, it should be fine to take huge units of like clan rats and stuff like that, because this really hard or big horde armies should be fine to play, but not with only slaves. That's just boring. Otherwise, you can bring the same list that we brought last year, which were our best list, or almost, I guess.
Yeah, but that came down to the pairing a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can't bring it now, no.
No, but you can bring, for example, double Hell Pit, which is lighter restricted than before, which I think is fun actually, because it's not as bad as we remember it. It's only toughness 5 and it's easy to take down with shooting. But it has some really good matchups as well.
Yeah, and a lot of shooting has been restricted also.
Yeah. So,
So,
I think they are I think Skaven is good. Just look over the slaves.
Yeah. So, and now the elephant in the living room nobody wants to see.
Yeah. So we
Tomb
go on
Kings.
to vampire counts.
The Tomb Kings. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, I mean, you can't do anything with Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings will be Tomb Kings, and there will be.
I mean, to be fair, one really, really big thing is that it doesn't crumble.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I still, it cannot, I mean, there's no damage output, or enough damage output. And there's...
But that's not the restrictions' fault. I mean, the
No,
restrictions are
no.
great.
I mean, but the main problem with the army is that the army sucks.
But I mean, they've done what they could with the restrictions. 2,700 points is, I think, enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried them out. I think with a good player, Tomb Kings can really do something, and especially when the Hierophant is not as closely supported as before, you can play around that as well. I mean, I think they can be viable.
Crumbling is a big problem, and that's also one of the reasons why Tomb Kings lose big when they lose.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it's the problem with the army, because like the reason why you lose is because you can't march. And if you could solve that somehow, I think that the army would actually be really strong.
But they can march in the new book, right?
No, only in a Dead Legion.
Yeah, exactly. But what's the rules there? You can march within 12 with a general or something. I mean, they can bring in...
march. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, they can bring in that rule. And I don't think people would disagree with that as well.
And
then it could be a really fun army, actually.
Yeah, but they would be. I think they would be so strong.
But
then you need to take them down a bit with the points.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing when I kind of felt that they're always gonna fail, it was when Robert played them at the warm up and he put like 3 Titans into a unit of Warriors of Chaos or something and just straight up lost.
But that was because there were archers left, right?
I don't know.
I think there were like a unit of 10.
Yeah,
10 skeletons.
But I mean, still.
Then everything is going to crumble.
Yeah, but what's the chance of getting? I mean, if you can't, I would say like this: even if you could move, I mean, the units who are supposed to kind of every unit in a Tomb King's army loses against almost every other unit in the game.
I don't agree on that.
Yeah, but no, of course you won't agree on that. But
I mean, I think they're kind of good in the meta. There are a lot of like strength 6, for example, in the meta, and people pay a lot of points to get strength 6, and that's just like strength 3 for a Sphinx. So
yeah. But looking at the Necro Sphinx or a Sphinx, I mean, you're relying so much on that the Sphinx is going to stay alive. And if you're a bit unlucky and they roll a lot of 6s, it just straight up dies to anything, even strength 1. I mean, that for me, that's the problem. It doesn't matter if you shoot it with strength 1 or strength 6.
Oh, sure.
No, but that's like the balance in them.
Yeah, but I would like to see them with like a 4-up save or a 3-up save or something.
Yeah,
I think it will make them really strong.
Yeah, of course, but you don't see Tomb Kings, so they need something to make them really strong.
Oh, but in all fairness, we do see Tomb Kings. Not in the top.
No.
But yeah, sure. I think
So,
moving on.
Vampire counts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here also, as Johan said before, like taking a balanced, or like the army we took last year is restricted really hard.
Yeah.
But you could take like infinite number of hex rates and crypt horrors.
No. Each Ethereal character or unit one choice. Each unit of hex rates.
Oh, they
After
okay.
first
They added
is one
that
choice.
one.
You can only
Okay,
take 2 units of hex rates.
Yeah, okay. Cause in the beta it wasn't like that. Okay, so with that or unit it makes a big difference. But still, you could take
10 crypt horrors in the army.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one choice, so you can have like 20 20 Cryptar is one choice. That's kind of strange.
But
The
now,
characters are really restricted.
and
Yeah.
why?
So, I mean, restrict the characters a bit less and the units a bit more, or something.
But
And here as well,
what stops you from
divert
building
resources.
the night boss?
Nothing really.
It sucks.
But nothing stopped you last year either.
No, I mean the boss is not that good.
No. I was just thinking about the choices you could make here. So, yeah.
Warriors of Chaos then?
Yeah. No, nothing more to say about the counts.
I think the Warriors of Chaos will be popular next year.
Yeah, I mean double Chaos Lord on disc,
Yeah.
no restrictions.
And
Triple
like,
Chaos Lord on disc, no restrictions.
and then 3 Chimeras, 2 units of Skull
Yeah.
Crushers.
Yeah, each flying model after the third is one choice, so the Chimeras will be double choices when you bring triple, for example, triple Chaos Lords,
Oh,
but
right,
2 Chaos
right.
Lords, 1 Chimera is no choice.
No.
And then you can have 2 units of Skull Crushers, that's 2 choices.
It's gonna be nasty.
And then we have,
I mean,
I think they need to go with that.
Yeah,
Otherwise
is there any reason to bring a Demon Prince? Not really.
not under these restrictions.
No.
Not in my opinion. At
No,
least.
not really. Well, not really, I guess. You do want like the Skull Crushers. 2 units of Skull Crushers are really nice. I think that would be like what I'd put in first.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I mean, two Lords on discs and 2 units of Skull Crushers. Then you have your base, your baseline.
Yeah.
Okay, so they will probably fix that or change it somehow. We'll see. Hopefully someone watches this show.
But then again, like I wouldn't consider that like insanely OP. But it's definitely stronger than before. It feels stronger than before.
Yeah, and it feels more all-in-ish than before, and we've already seen the all-in-ish armies, and sometimes they win big and sometimes they lose big. But I think now with these restrictions, the losses will be fewer.
Yeah.
The big
we'll
losses
see.
will be fewer.
I have to go, guys. Can we just take Woodolph's fast? And then
Yeah, of course. And the Woodolphs, I can't say nothing. I tried to read through this, and I haven't built a single Woodolph army, so I don't know.
I mean, they're kind of hardly restricted, in my opinion. Or at least the Waystalkers are really hardly restricted.
Yeah.
But could you, with these choices, could you pick Dennis' list that he played last year?
Not even close.
Not even close. Okay.
But that's like the only list that is restricted as well.
Okay.
In the Polish list, because they have Waystalkers as well. Otherwise you can almost pick.
So you can say it's like they've restricted the Waystalker, and that's it.
Yeah.
Harder
And,
than last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, do we have to wrap up? Because Lagge is going on some adventure.
Yeah.
And hopefully you liked listening to our thoughts. I mean, this was just the first episode regarding the ETC restrictions, and we'll get back to the community when the next draft is out. So take care, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, take care, guys.
See ya.
Yep.